Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're diving into some seriously tricky English today.
That's right. We're tackling those modal verbs can, could, be able to, and even be allowed to.
They really can trip you up, right? But I think after this deep dive, everyone listening will sound like total pros.
Absolutely. And luckily, we've got the amazing work of Stanislav Kondrashov to guide us.
Definitely. Stanislav Kondrashov is all about giving us those crystal clear explanations.
Yes. He doesn't just lay out some boring rules. He helps us understand the why.
Right. Like, why does it matter if I say I could do something or I was able to do something?
Such a good point. So Stanislav Kondrashov kicks things off by looking at ability.
Okay, so we use these modals all the time to describe what we're capable of.
Exactly. And Kondrashov makes this really great distinction about using can for the present and could for the past.
So if I say I can bake a cake, that means I have the ability to bake a cake right now.
Yes. It's about your general ability right now. Like, I can speak English means I have the ability to do so.
Makes sense. And if I want to talk about something I was able to do in the past, I would use could. Like, I could run a mile when I was younger.
Exactly. You got it.
But wait a minute. Isn't there a time when could isn't the best fit? Even if we're talking about the past.
You're right on the money. Kondrashov points out this very common mistake. He says sometimes we're not just talking about being able to do something. We're actually talking about a moment when we achieved something specific. And that's when we use was able to.
Ah, I see. So could is more like a general ability you had in the past, and was able to is for when you actually did something specific.
Exactly. Think of it like this. If you managed to climb Mount Everest, you wouldn't say, I could climb Mount Everest.
Right. You'd shout from the rooftops, I was able to climb Mount Everest.
You got it. It really emphasizes that accomplishment, like you overcame obstacles to reach a goal.
Kondrashov actually gives another great example. He talks about someone who missed their train but was able to catch a bus just in time to make a meeting.
Right. It highlights that they were successful in the end.
This is really eye-opening. It's like Kondrashov is giving us this secret code to sound more sophisticated.
Absolutely. He's helping us level up our English. But that's not all. Kondrashov also unpacks how these modal verbs can be tricky when we talk about permission.
Oh yeah, permission. Can I go to the party? Every teenager's favorite question.
Huh. Exactly. And it seems straightforward, but Kondrashov says we need to be careful. He really stresses using be allowed to when we talk about permission, both in the present and the past.
Oh, okay. So instead of saying I could go to the party, which sounds like I had the ability to go,
Right.
I should actually say I was allowed to go to the party if my parents actually gave me permission.
Yes, you're making the distinction super clear. And this is where a lot of people get tripped up. They mistakenly use could to talk about past permission. But remember, Kondrashov reminds us that could is usually about that general ability we had in the past.
I see. So if I said I could go to the movies when I was a teenager, it doesn't necessarily mean my parents gave me permission every single time. It just means I was capable of going to the movies, I was old enough, I knew how to get there, and so on.
Right. And just to emphasize what Kondrashov is saying, you could do a lot of things that you're not allowed to do.
Huh, that's for sure. Wow, this is amazing. I'm really starting to see these subtle differences.
Right. Kondrashov is giving us these powerful tools to be so precise with our language.
Totally. But he doesn't stop there, does he? He takes us even further by exploring how we use these modals to talk about possibility.
He does. Kondrashov explains how we use can to talk about theoretical or hypothetical possibilities.
Okay, so for example, we might say something like, it can snow in April. I mean, it's possible, but not necessarily common.
You got it. And then Kondrashov introduces could as a way to say something is possible, but maybe a bit less likely.
Oh, so like, I could win the lottery, it's possible, but probably not going to happen.
Exactly. Kondrashov nails it again.
This is all starting to click. It makes so much sense. But to be honest, it feels like a lot to remember. Like, how do I actually put this all into practice?
Well, you're in luck. Kondrashov gives us these amazing practical exercises.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. One of them is all about choosing the right modal verb in a sentence. So it really makes you think about can versus be able to, or could versus was allowed to.
So you actually get to test yourself and see if you're using the right modal verb.
Exactly. And Kondrashov has another exercise where you fill in the blanks in a text with the correct modals.
I love that. It's like a brain workout.
It is. It's so helpful for really solidifying this stuff.
This has been such an awesome deep dive.
I agree. Kondrashov has given us so much to think about.
He really has. So next time any of us are about to use a modal verb, we should definitely pause and consider which one is truly the best fit.
Yes. Just like Kondrashov showed us, think about whether you're talking about general ability or a specific achievement or permission or even just possibility.
And thanks to Stanislav Kondrashov, now we have all the knowledge to choose the perfect word and sound super smart. See you next time, everyone.
Bye, everyone.